Probably the most important consideration is what is the organization that you're designing for? What is their culture? What is their brand? What are their needs, both functional as well as aspirational needs? A lot of companies nowadays are reinventing themselves and trying to stay current and fresh, and so design needs to stay ahead of where they are right now, sometimes for up to 5 to 10 years. So we have to be a little bit of crystal ball readers. There's a lot of talk right now about a backlash against OpenOffice. I don't think it's going to get much traction, however, because OpenOffice has created a much better value for a lot of businesses in terms of how they use the space that they're paying for. I think what needs to happen is, rather than an either-or situation, it needs to be a blend. There needs to be the right amount of spaces open and closed so that you can do heads down and concentrated work without being disturbed, but it doesn't need to be where you spend your entire day. I think the next generation of workspace is going to look a lot like some of the emerging workspaces that are getting a lot of attention now, the Googleplexes and the creative spaces. It needs to have a better blend of both residential and commercial space. It needs to be able to support the change in workflow. People are not spending all of their time in formal meeting rooms or at their desk. It's not mobile work, and Yahoo is a great example of that all of a sudden, because the CEO said everybody is now back in the workplace because that's where work is happening. But how the space physically functions is going to be more of a blend of residential and commercial type of design. The other important considerations are going to be mandated, such as accessibility standards, which are changing now in Ontario with the rollout of the AODA Act, and wellness in general. And it's not something which is a metric right now that many businesses are measuring, but the wellness of their workforce is going to directly affect their bottom line, and they're going to want to design facilities that will promote wellness in their workplace. The other thing, with the emergence of technology, in particular in the last 20 years that we've seen, and very much so in the last 5 years, is freeing people up from their desk. The ability to work anywhere made a tremendous difference in some of the workplaces that we've designed in the last 4 to 5 years. Not being chained to your PC or your station anymore has made sometimes the work that people do dramatically different and more effective, because they've been able to take their work with them. And that doesn't necessarily mean outside of the workplace, but just they can move around wherever they are. As far as new and future trends, I think you're going to find more and more innovations in facilitating different kinds of work and facilitating different preferences to how people want to work.